Mrs. Moskowitz is unique among the administration of the Masifta in more ways than one. Of course, she's the first woman to hold that position. And it's unusual for a woman to be the head of a yeshiva high school. What is even more unusual is that she comes from the general studies side of the program rather than from the Torah studies. But that shows what a unique individual she is. It is worth noting that her strongest supporters for the position when it became available were the Rabbi, because they understood and saw in her the understanding of what is important.
I've been asked to come here to praise my wife and to tell everybody about her wonderful attributes. Problem is, the attributes that I see is not what the parents see, and it's not what the children see, it's not what the kids see. It's a dedication on her behalf more so than anything else. And that's visible, obvious, and transparent to anyone who's ever dealt with Chanie. There's a warmth to her attitude, there's a understanding of the children, more so than what we can just see on the surface.
They say that if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. In the last 17 years, I don't know how many days I've actually felt that I was working. For the most part, I love coming in here. I love working with my colleagues and with my students.
The most meaningful time that I have spent with Mrs. Moskowitz is in this office when we're meeting with parents to discuss the potential problem of a student. We call them in, and very quickly Mrs. Moskowitz puts them at ease by showing them how much she cares and how much her heart and soul is in this process.
The difference between Mrs. Moskowitz and all other high school principals is that she doesn't just sit on the side during a high school activity, she goes and she gets involved. A great example is on our spring trip when we went to Niagara Falls, she went on Maid of the Mist, she went whitewater rafting with us, and we actually had a really great time together.
What makes Mrs. Moskowitz a great principal is how her office was always open for us. Anytime we had a question or a comment or just wanted to get some pretzels and jelly beans, she was always there for us and her office was always open.
The turtles that decorate Mrs. Moskowitz's office bring a sense of humanity and warmth to JEC. And like the turtles, Mrs. Moskowitz is a wise and respected figure here, one that has really become part of JEC life and that will be dearly missed by all of the students and faculty.
Education is not just about presenting information. It's about inspiring a passion in students to pursue their dreams, to instill in them self-confidence so that they know they can achieve if they want to achieve. And then just showing them how to go about achieving what they want.
I think what's most amazing about Mrs. Moskowitz is her care and concern for every student in every situation. Just the other day, I happened to have met a parent who was talking about the upcoming dinner, and he was reminiscing, and he said he remembers his son had lost a basketball game and he was on the floor, he was in tears, and who's sitting next to him on the floor but Mrs. Moskowitz.
From the time I met Mrs. Moskowitz over 17 years ago, she has been many things to me personally. She has been both a supervisor, a mentor, and most dearly a friend. This is what I remember her personally the most. In fact, she was open enough that one time I walked in, obviously without thinking, and I asked her, "What do you do the whole day?" Since then, she's enlightened me, she's shown me many things that she's done, focusing on the students, focusing on the education of the school, focusing on the betterment of how JEC will be looked to the world and to everyone. We will surely miss her.
Of all of the things I've learned from Mrs. Moskowitz, I would say the most important is being attentive to detail. Whether it's running a program for the first time or the 10th time, whether it's bringing in a brand new course or tweaking an existing course, I know that she's able to see the big picture and she's able to put students first and ensure their success.
If I had to say the main thing that I learned from Mrs. Moskowitz, it's got to be her passion. Mrs. Moskowitz pretends that she's not the best public speaker in the world and she needs a script and without it she'll fail. But the truth is that when she speaks off the cuff, it's an amazingly inspirational thing to see. At the end of our Shabbatonim, when she speaks to the boys, it's truly Devarim Hayotzim Min Halev Nechnasim Al Halev. And we, the Rebbeim, the teachers, and the students are all inspired and empowered by her words.
Mrs. Moskowitz, although you may feel that your work is not done, because an educator's work is never done. I do want you to rest assured that the thousands upon thousands of students that went through your leadership, your actions and efforts will live on.
Because the success of my students is so important to me, they're always with me in my mind and in my heart. And I do a lot of talking about them. So much that my own sons know that when I talk about my sons, I call them my sons. But when I talk about the students in school, they are my kids. And they can always differentiate between the students and themselves. The students are my kids, my sons are my sons. I love them all.